What's cooking, bro? So, I want to talk about the feeling of deadness, when you feel dead inside, right? Because it's such a strong and common feeling, but I've never really heard anyone talk about it or explain it. I was just kind of playing it over in my head, and I was like, damn, like, it's a really important thing. Because, like, if you've ever, you're just doing activities, maybe you're hanging out with a certain kind of person, or maybe you're even with some members of your family, or you're at a job, or you're dating someone, for example, and like you just get that feeling of feeling dead inside. That's a big fat sign that you're living wrong, that something in your life needs to change. But because no one ever really talks about it, this feeling of deadness, like I personally didn't really know what to do with it, and I don't feel like a lot of other people do either. So I've investigated it like in my head, and I think it's a really strong way to, from all the spiritual teachings that I've come across, from all of these like manifestation books and all that stuff, and like even just self improvement, self help. Basically, all of the positive guidance that's come into my life kind of aligns with this concept that I've been playing over in my head. So I think it's going to be really beneficial for whatever stage you're at. If you're in entrepreneurship, if you're in a career, if you're even in relationships, friendships, family situations, in any of those departments, you really need to start orienting your life away from deadness and towards aliveness. And it's not a straightforward path, right? But I'm going to try and make it sound super simple so you can start just like reorienting the way you're spending your limited time on this planet, because we're not here forever, right? No matter who you are, we're all heading to the same place, and that's back to the ground that we came from. So while we're here, why feel dead, right? So I'm going to try to give you a story that kind of brings that feeling to life for you. So I'm in Houston right now. I've been here for a couple months, and I met this girl, and I wasn't expecting much. I wasn't really going after anything in particular, but just wanted to hang out with someone, have a new experience, right? So I met up with this girl, nice girl. Like, I liked her as a person, right? But when we met, we'd had some nice chats, but then, I found out she smokes weed pretty much every single day. She drinks fairly often and watches TV and plays some video games and a bunch of other stuff like that, right? And like initially, I was just like, that's cool because I could relate. I've played all the games, I've watched the anime, I've smoked all the weed, and I've done all the drinking and partying. Like, so a big part of me was like, oh yeah, nice, yes, nice, I can relate. Cool, cool. So we were talking about it. It was cool, and then I met her again, and we actually smoked weed together. So what we did was we went bowling at a bowling alley, but just before we like smoked some weed outside, like around the back of the alley. Then we came in and did everything. Um, and it was fun initially, right? But what started to happen was like a little bit afterwards, my brain started to like get that feeling of deadness coming back into it. And looking back, I can really see why. In the moment, I was really confused. I was like, I just feel numb. Like, this feels so pointless to me. This feels so meaningless to me. And yeah, like I said at the time, I was confused. Like, well, nothing's wrong. Everything's okay. We're having a good time. Like, what's the problem? And like, looking back, I can see that it's because I was doing something that's not aligned to what I really want. It's not aligned to my highest excitement. I heard a quote and it's like, you should chase your highest excitement, aka follow something that is super meaningful to you. Because basically, as I understand it, you come to this planet because of the energy of desire. The energy of desire runs this planet. Without desire, nothing would happen. The tree desires sunlight. Man desires woman, right? At least that's how it traditionally works. Um, like everything in nature is desiring something. It's like, chemical reactions, you can call it desire, right? Things are happening, things are getting drawn to each other, pushed away from each other all the time. It's just the flow of life, right? And that's what creates life. If man didn't desire woman, the human race would stop. If animals didn't desire food, they would just die. Desire is life. You know what I'm saying? We desire love. Like, it's the same thing. So when I was doing this stuff, my desire was not aligned to this anymore. In the past, it used to be, because I actually used to use all of those things to feel a certain kind of way because I desired it. Back in the day when I had a lot of emotional pain, I desired those positive dopamine experiences to feel good, right? But in this situation, I don't really desire that because I took those things to the ends of the earth and I saw they're never going to fulfill me. So when I'm spending my time going back to something that I know is a dead end, immediately I'm just like, this isn't what I want. This is a waste of my life. My life purpose is something else right now, and I'm wasting it on this. Again, she was a nice girl. I feel like we actually got on pretty good as people, but it was just like something was just like, nah, gee, like, nah. And this isn't just like the only situation, because like I feel like this is kind of an extreme example, but it can just be like if you're just talking to some person who has no a level of alignment with you, you just feel dead. You just feel dead, and like usually you just stop talking to them and they'll stop talking to you. You know, when someone says they have dead replies, it's because they're not interested in you. There's no life in it. So what you need to start doing if you actually want to live a fulfilling life, a life that's exciting, a life where you actually want to get out of your goddamn bed in the morning. Because, again, like, another example is like on my self-improvement journey, I've kind of forced myself to do stuff that I didn't really want to do, that wasn't really aligned, that didn't feel purposeful, like cold calling random roofing companies when I was in England, for example. I didn't want to get out of bed, not just because it wasn't uncomfortable, because it meant nothing to me. I didn't care at all. There was no, like, aside from, oh, maybe I can get some money, like, I was like, what is the point of this? And I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to live my conscious life. I wanted to stay in dreamland because it meant nothing to me. And like, so many people spend their lives doing something that feels dead to them. This does not mean you have to start your dream business and start coaching online and like doing something that seems fun and easy. Like, you can work a job. Just do something that means something to you. I like I like working with my hands. I like figuring stuff out. So in a different life, maybe I could have become like a builder or a contractor or like a construction company, because I just like building stuff naturally. Like, if you put me on the floor with some sticks, I'll probably build something from it. You know what I'm saying? So like, that would have been a good way for me to live with aliveness. Other things that bring me aliveness personally is social connection, speaking to other entrepreneurs who have figured stuff out, who have gotten where they wanted. It excites me because that's what I want as well. Finding a nice relationship, that's very exciting for me. Healing my relationship with my family, like being, because like, for example, like if you have an emotionally unavailable parent, let's say, and when you're around them, all they can talk about is like, all they're just mean all the time. They're never kind to you, and they never give you the love that you want, right? And they just treat you a certain kind of way. You can hang around with them. It might be kind of nice to be around with them, but you're just gonna start to feel bored and dead, and eventually you're just gonna be like, just, you're gonna want to go out and start hanging out with other people, because like, you can't be with this person who makes you feel dead inside, right? So when you're living your life, just, you don't have to do crazy drastic things. The universe is abundant. You don't need to become a trillionaire to do this, right? That might excite you. That's fine. But like, if you just want to have that sense of aliveness, just this, I heard this practice is a really nice idea, right? Think, okay, these are my current limitations. What is the thing that excites me most that I could do right now? Think about that and then just go and do it. Like, let's say you want a loving relationship, for example, but you don't know any great girls. You don't have some, your phone's not full of DMs, right? You got dry DMs, whatever, right? Just think of the most exciting thing you could do. Oh, I have that one friend, right? He might be a guy, but I have that one friend. Let me just go get lunch with him. We'll go to the mall, right? You're there, you end up, maybe you two end up speaking to a couple other people, and then boom, like, this desire that you had, you're speaking to a couple girls, right? You know what I mean? Like, you can't always predict the outcome, and that's the problem with the mind. So you have to just choose the most exciting thing available to you right now, the thing that's most in that direction, and just go authentically, just give it a try. Don't overthink it. Just go with no expectation and kind of just explore in that direction, right? Because usually that's the best way to do it. Or you can be more intentional about it, right? Oh, I really, really just want to help people. I really just want to make a difference. Oh, you know what? Like, I heard someone at work today mention that their daughter's becoming a nurse. You know what? Maybe I should look into that. And just go look into it. Watch a couple YouTube videos. Maybe go, like, see if you can shadow someone at their job and see what it's like. You know what I mean? Just like, oh, I can help people here. You know what? I might actually go after this because this would be pretty fun. The pretty fun thing to do. So anyway, like, just to wrap it up, just like chase things that actually make you feel excited, and it's not that complicated to do. Just because, like, again, bro, we're not on this planet forever. We're really not. So, like, why are you wasting your time in a situation that you don't like? And this does not mean like you should just run away from discomfort. That's not what this means. I'm talking about the feeling of deadness, aka if this thing that I'm doing right now worked out for me, I would still feel dead inside. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say you're dating someone, because this is just a good example. You're dating someone who doesn't really share any of the same values as you, who is maybe a convenient option. Like, let's say you're like 18, you've been dating this guy in high school. You kind of want to maybe move countries, maybe explore a different culture. Let's say that's your excitement. And this girl you're with, all she really wants to do is just stay in England and go to the pub or go partying every weekend. That's what she wants, and you want to go explore a different culture in France, maybe. You're gonna feel dead with her. And even if that relationship worked out, even if you convinced her to come with you probably still wouldn't feel excited, would you? But if you met another girl who also she loved French culture and she wanted to explore it, you would feel super excited. You'd be like, wow, this is the one for me. So if you're in a difficult situation, I'm not saying you should run away from that situation. Just like if this worked out, because like if you had a business, for example, and you're working on that and you're really struggling, you can't get any clients, but then like if tomorrow it worked out and you got a bunch of clients, would you feel excited? If the answer is yes, then you should stick with it. You just need to work through your discomfort. But if even if it worked out, like let's say you're working on an accounting business and tomorrow you get 10 accounting clients, if you're like, I don't want to deal with these clients, I don't want to do all the accounting, like, I don't want to do this, that means that's not the right thing for you to be doing. That's not what's your highest excitement. You should be doing something differently, right? So I'm gonna wrap it up there, but like, again, bro, we're not on this planet for a long time. I'm not gonna say it again. We're not here for a long time. So just like, why are you wasting your life chasing something you don't like? I spent 3 years at university doing an economics degree. I just did it because it seemed like a smart way to make money. It seemed like a good thing to do. I hated the whole thing because I felt dead inside the whole time because I don't care about the economy. Like, yeah, it's important, whatever, but like, it doesn't excite me. That's what I'm saying. Like, maybe it would have just been better for me to go start a construction company. But that's hard. No one really tells you how to do that. It's uncomfortable. So I didn't even try. I did what is safe and normal. And then I felt dead inside and wasted 3 years of my life. Now I'm doing an actual business that I actually kind of like, that actually kind of excites me. So, like, I actually want to do it. And yeah, maybe it's not my life's end goal purpose, right? But right now it's pretty exciting. So I'm just going to keep chasing it. And then things will change. Something else will excite me. You don't need to hold on to something that used to excite you. You can move on to something that now excites you, right? Again, this feeling of deadness, honestly, it's one of the worst feelings you can feel. Because at least when you're afraid, you still want something. You want safety. You want comfort. At least you want something. At least you're driven. But when you feel dead, you're just still. It's like in like a river, when all the water's flowing, it's clear, it's shiny, it's reflecting the sunlight, it looks beautiful. You could scoop some up and drink it, right? In a fresh river. But when there's like a blockage in the river, there's some trees and like all the water's just building up, it's stagnant. There's like brown stuff building up in it, algae and if you drink it, you'd probably got sick. Like, that's what happens when life stays still. Life needs to keep moving, right? The more it moves, the more alive it is. So don't stay stagnant, bro. Keep moving. I hope that helps. Just think about that and maybe take some action to just, you don't need to drop your whole life. Just try something that feels a little bit exciting. Just see how you feel, and I'm sure the rest will become obvious to you. See you in a bit.